Everyone, welcome back to my gameplay of Planescape Torment. We're continuing our side quests here in the Fest Hall in the Clerk's Ward, and yeah, let's continue. This person is staring intently at a metal panel mounted on the chamber's wall. After a moment of fierce concentration, they weave their hands about and utter a string of imprehensive-sounding arcane syllables, all to no effect. Nonetheless, they continue to practice diligently, far too involved with their work to speak to you. This person is carrying a sheaf of papers and unwound scrolls. They occasionally pause to look through them and read portions of what's written aloud, practicing elaborate hand motions as they do. They look up as you stand before them. Greetings. Greetings, what is this place? This is where aspiring mages can come to train and study. Many wizards took their first steps in the art of fledgling sorcerers here. Where's the trainer?
My journal.
I do not know where Lady Thorncombe has gone. I would suggest you try the sensorium. She spends much of her time there. They lower their voice, frowning. Perhaps too much. The sensoriums? Ask Splinter, just inside the Fest Hall's entrance of them. You cannot reach them yourself, but he will take you there. That's all I wish to know. Farewell. This towering man's golden skin sparkles slightly, almost as if it was mere metallic. Whether it's his actual flesh or merely painted on, you cannot tell. He regards you coolly as you approach, giving a respectful bow as you draw near. Welcome to the Civic Fest Hall, traveler. We are Splinter, doorman to the Fest Hall and priest king of, how may we help you? Despite his humble offer of aid, his voice is powerful and commanding, a deep and rumbling sound that resonates throughout the chamber. How can you help me? We do many things in the fine hall, traveler. We answer questions guests might have regarding it or its inhabitants. We direct both visitors and members of the Society of Sensation alike to the sensoriums or lecture halls. We also accept new members into the Society. Lastly, it is through us that purchases from the Society's vaults are made, spells, items, and such. Can you show me to the sensoriums? There are two. The public sensorium, where visitors may use the sensory stones for anywhere between 10 and 50 commons, and the private sensorium, where only members of the Society of Sensation are allowed. You can reach neither of them yourself. We must take you there. How could I get into the private sensorium? You must be a member of the Society of Sensation. What if I already was a sensate? I haven't come to this place in a long time. I assure you I was a sensate. Splinter bends down a ways to examine you more closely. We do not recognize you, but we see no lies dripping from your tongue. Very well, we shall grant you access to those private privileges allowed only to members of the Society of Sensation. If you can show us what sensations you have gathered recently. Alright, I'm ready. We would ask for 5 sensations, then each pertaining to one of the body's senses, or a single experience which has strong elements of all 5 senses. I'd have a single experience to contribute then. I woke up not knowing where I was, on a cold, blood-slicked slab in the bowels of the mortuary, a place where only the dustmen or the corpses in their care have seen. Go on. My entire body reeked of embalming fluid, but even the smell of that was not enough to match the coppery scent of gore around me. Dozens of bodies lie on the countless bloody slabs like the one I rose from, all in the process of being gutted, flayed, and the like by nightmarish clockwork devices for a reason unknown. The only sounds were the squeals of labored metal and the unsteady tread of undead workers as they pushed the slabs around the mortuary on rusted iron tracks. And I even left out the part about the chattering skull that flew at me as soon as I was upright. Will it suffice, Splinter? Yes, we welcome you back, traveler, and grant you access to those privileges allowed only to the members of Sensation. My thanks. Farewell, Splinter. Okay, now how do I go there? Can you show me? Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, we gotta find this lady. Maybe to the public one then? Wouldn't make much sense for her to be in this. Oh, she is. This calmly middle-aged woman is wandering about the dreamily absent-minded, chewing on her thumbnail. Her eyes seem focused on nothing particular. She's dressed in elegant yet disheveled finery, and her hair is slightly tousled. Greetings. She takes her thumb from her mouth, smoothing back a strand of hair that has fallen in front of her eyes. Are you by chance Lady Thorncombe? Her eyes widen momentarily. She looks away from you. No, I'm not, sir. But I think you are, madame. I was told that you are the mage's tutor of the Civic Fest Hall? Lady Thorncombe puts on a sudden look. And if I was this woman, what of it? And I had some questions for you. I had some questions about you. As you begin to ask your question, you realize she's not looking at you, let alone paying you any attention. Lady Thorncombe, my question? Very well, ask what it is. I have questions about you. I have questions about this place. Never mind, actually. Okay, so it looks as though, unfortunately, I will be unable to complete this quest, which is a little upsetting, but not a big deal. Let's see. Actually, let's go back and see if we can.
All right.
Please do anything. I don't think these do anything. Are they supposed to do something? This man's gentle voice complements his calm and refined demeanor. Greetings, are you here to use one of the sensory stones? Yes, I am. There are currently more than a dozen standard sensations available, as well as 6 more extravagant experiences. The use of a standard stone is 10 copper commons. The more involved ones will cost 150 coppers. Would you care to hear of the standard or the extravagant? The standard. The man smiles and explains to you some of the various sensations that are currently available to your... Which one of these will suit you? Unavoidable pain will do. Good. The stone you shall want to use is the one of the smaller chambers, one room clockwise from the stairwell. It is of greenish yellow in color. The experience is a short and violent one, struggling with another slightly stronger man on the edge of a blazing hot stream of molten lava. Your weaponed hand is slowly forced ever closer to the magma. Beads of sweat evaporate the instant they appear. The hair on the back of your hand blackens and smolders above the awesome heat. Finally, your howls of suffering echoing from the canyon walls around you. Your hand and the axe, it plunges into the lava and chars to ash in a new agonizing seconds. The experience seems to have stirred some long-forgotten, vaguely similar memory in your own mind. You feel as if you've gained something from using the sensory stone. Huh.
I'm gone.
Your eyes are closed. You can sense yourself standing on the tips of your toes, pressed against someone tightly. Soft lips brush against yours, giving you the most gentle of kisses. Your heart seems to flutter in your chest, and you feel as if you could fall backwards and simply float off into space. The experience couldn't be more than a few minutes long, but hours seemed to pass. A long, boring lecture in the driest, dustiest hall of the University of Chalm and Sigil. You look about the vast hall, hoping to catch someone's eye to pull a face up, but the other students are either asleep or staring listlessly into space. You drop your quill pen, pick it up, and drop it again, just for something to do. You consider stabbing yourself in the eye with it, just to see if your senses haven't been wholly numbed by the incredible boredom. Hesitantly, you open your mouth and take a shallow breath, and water flows into your lungs like cool air. You smile and take a deep breath, gawking in all directions as you slowly sink to the bottom of the harbor, where hundreds of colorful fish weave through twisting tacks of brilliant coral. As your feet touch bottom, you peer up at the keel of your ship and laugh aloud with joy. A string of great bubbles shooting up towards the surface. You stand debating with Amnes, the horribly slow keeper of the Lion Key, as to whether or not your quest is important enough for him to relinquish the artifact into your care. The whole experience is an exercise of sheer torment. Each and every one of his words is followed by a significant pause. Each and every point he makes is reverberated time and again before he lets you speak. You present an argument, then wait while he makes his counterpoint, to which you shoot off a snappy counterpoint of your own, then must wait yet again for another of Amnes' drawling, meandering, seemingly endless counterpoints. It's everything you can do not to simply lop the fiend's tusk head off and snatch the key from the twitching corpse. Shuddering, chattering, hoping beyond hope to be found, you curl into yourself beneath a blanket of snow to save what little warmth you have left. Fighting to keep your eyes open, you remain awake. You become aware that you can no longer feel your arms, your legs, the ice against your face, and tired, so tired, you at last regain the inevitable. You close your eyes, bidding sleep a bitter welcome as the sense of loss forces a single tear doomed to crystallize before it even reaches your cheek from your aching eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You find yourself coupling with a succubus, a creature of such intense otherworldly beauty that even her fiend's horns and thrashing tail give you no pause. She gasps you under. You desire her so completely that the whole of your existence seems focused towards the single goal. As your life explodes from you in a starry burst, you hear the delighted laughter of the succubus as she drains you dry, leaving your body but a soulless husk. Oh my. I think I just described something. My. Horrible regret will do. Fine choice. The stone you should want to use as the room in one of the larger chambers. 3 rooms counterclockwise from the stairwell. You stand on the deck of your flagship, the Divine Hammer, as it floats over the continent of Argaheim. held aloft in the winds of magic. The very landscape roils and shudders beneath the bombardment of your fleet. 1,000 ships, cannons, and bombards hurrying their sorcerers fire down like vengeful gods. The shockwaves begin to hit your ship only minutes ago, a constant vibration that sends shudders through the whole of the ancient craft and moves your very bones, accompanied by constant rumbling bass, and as the land's mountains begin to sink and the seas that surround it begin to boil off into the atmosphere, your first officer comes to stand beside you. My Lord Admiral, permission to speak freely, sir. You nod your acquaintances, your stomach sinking as you guess at his question. Lord, forgive me, but how? What gives us the right? 1 billion lives? You speak without turning to him, unable to take your eyes off Rumos, the nation's vast capital city, as it vaporizes into a cloud of superheated gases 12 miles across and growing ever wider. If you only knew of the full treachery of the Agrit's First Order film, one which is beyond most of any man's comprehension, then you would know, you would speak of it, of your right to annihilate them. We've no right to let them live. But sir, traitors, all of them? Surely among the hundreds of thousands, but how many innocents? Silence, speak of it no more. Our king has spoken. His will be done. The task is set to us, and a horrible one, but not fit for contemplation or questioning. There's no room for pity, no room for remorse, only duty. The two of you stand silently for a time, watching the last minutes of Argheim. As long as you sigh, a low, stuttering exhaltation that sounds as if something is broken inside you. Beneath the brazen plate that covers the ruined half of your face, your dead eye begins to weep. Fall, my friend, I would have you understand. I know now, as I look down at what I have wrought here, that were I to think upon what I have done, what I have truly done, I would be struck mad. A deed such as this, the anguish would overwhelm, destroy me. So, First Officer Falm, it must be that there are no innocents in Argheim, no mothers, no children, no people, only traitors, vile, cunning traitors, who deserve no less than the full brunt of our most holy king's wrath. Do you understand this? Yes, my lord. Good, now go. I wish to be alone here. By your command, Lord Admiral. Falm bows his head and returns below deck, leaving you to stand over the end of a civilization. Shock and a rise to seething vengefulness will do. Come on. You stand somewhere in the nether regions of the plains, a sweltering place where the ground is beaten copper and the sky is brass. Here, the bodies of sinners, petitioners, as the horde place, are rolled amongst iron brambles and bronze scorpions until their bones are fine gray dust. You squint at the horizon, the bone dust rising with putrid-smelling gusts of wind that carry with them the sound of agonized moaning. There is nothing but flat metallic landscape as far as the eye can see. The dust is everywhere and everything. It stings at your eyes, coats the insides of your mouth with a pasty film. You spit, wiping it out with your tongue, but it is of no use. The stuff's taste has foiled your mouth completely. You look down at the key in your hand, a minute platinum orb, and picture the man's face who solemnly swore to you that the magical portal you just passed through, now gone, of course, led to the green fields of Bytopia. Someone by the powers of their proxies was going to pay for this one. How good could it be, you think, regarding the burgundy liquid carefully across the table from you? The twisted old man smiles slyly. Please, sir, try, he whispers, his hushed voice, the sound of dry leaves blown over a roughly cobbled street. Thou shalt find it more than lives up to thy expectations, I'm sure. You nod at him and lift the crystal goblet into the air, watching the light play through the crimson liquor. You'd come a long way for this drink, searched long and hard for this old man, and you'd be damned to let anything rush you now. The moment was to be savored. You raise the glass to your lips, inhaling the stuff's aroma. The bouquet of light, sweet, intoxicating, almost dazzling so. You've tried countless drinks, written tomes about them, their flavors and smells, means of manufacture in your journeys across the plains. But this stuff was supposed to be legendary. No living man you'd found or heard had tried the stuff. The stories were ridiculous. Nothing could taste quite so good. But if there were the slightest bit of truth to them, this would be some fine liquor indeed. At last you drink the goblet, a callous sip. Incredible, indescribable, as the flavor washes over your plate, you fight the urge to shudder with delight. Nothing you have tried in all your long years has tasted quite like this. You look up at the old man, startled to find your glass empty. You had drained it all in a single draught. You wipe your eyes with the back of your hand, not entirely sure when you had begun to cry. Tears of joy, eh? The old man laughed softly. Quite pleasing to the tongue, is it not? Wouldst thou like some more, perchance? He smiles at you once more. Yes, if I might. Surely, he replies, refilling your glass. Try this as you might. You cannot resist downing it a single gulp. You thrust your finger into the goblet in an attempt to find some last hidden drop of the stuff. Several times more does he fill the goblet, and each time you gulp the stuff down as a starving man would devour a feast, unable to control yourself to deny yourself another exquisite taste of it. He chuckles softly once more. A drink such as this, a man wouldn't do anything for it, no? You nod without hesitation. Yes, a man would, looking at him. His sly smile suddenly takes on a whole new meaning. A sense of horror begins to creep over you, even as you begin to yearn painfully for more of the blood-red liquor. Yes, the old man grins, his yellow eyes gleaming. A man wouldn't do anything in the thrall of such drink, even the most terrible, the most heinous of deeds, as thou shalt see, my newest servant. Indescribable frustration will do. Fine choice. The stone you shall want to use is in one of the larger chambers, 3 rooms counterclockwise from the stairwell. Rooms counterclockwise. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2. 3. You can see it now, the crown of Hifon gleaming upon its marble pedestal, no more than 20 strides away. It is with you. You could wrest control of the armies of Auripolis away from your treacherous brother and restore your father's kingdom. A fool your wretched brother was, and you smile grimly at the thought, to leave the king's only daughter alive, thinking she could do no harm. A sound, the creak of leather sandals, the softest hiss, over there by that third pillar. She was close now. Palafi, the Medusa, jealously guarding the crown her servants had stolen from her so long ago. Crouching behind a wide pillar, you wrap your hand tightly around your trusted, thrice-blessed javelin. With your helm of swiftness and the 100-mirrored shield, even a beast such as Palafi would be no match for you. Any moment now she would round the pillar and meet the sight of you. Even if she turned away from the shield, your javelin would surely find her throat. Suddenly there is a gentle touch on your shoulder. You gasp, spinning around to face, of course, the Medusa. Accepting the inevitable, you only have time to lose a piercing cry of frustration before your lungs and every other part of you solidifies into cold gray stone. Six imperial servants rush ahead of you, swinging the golden doors of the dragon palace wide. Long live the Empress, then cry in unison, 1,000 years, long live the Empress, 1,000 years. Beyond the threshold, dozens of loyal warlords, kings in their own right, drop to their knees, touching their heads to the floor in deference as you pass them en route to the grand imperial throne. As you turn and face your minions, seating yourself upon the imperial throne, you allow a small, satisfied smile to creep upon your carefully painted lips. There is but one thought in the forefront of your mind: that the body of the young Empress Wu Song Sha lies broken at the bottom of the well of solitude, and that you, Ba Hua, a horse merchant's daughter, are the last poised to shake the empire and the corrupt Wu dynasty to its very foundations. Lycanthropy will do. Suddenly aware that the hour is almost come, you leap from your bed and run flying from your cottage into the surrounding woods. Stumbling in the dark, you come to a small moonlit clearing, the one you have found last week and decided to use tonight. You hastily strip off your clothes, sit in the long grass, and wait. You close your eyes, listening to the steady chirp of crickets, the throaty croaking of bullfrogs, and the nearby creak, the rustle of the grass, and the wind caresses it. What would someone think, seeing this through your eyes? experience in this moment and what was the next to come. Soon you would travel to the city, find a cleric to rid you of the curse, but for now you may as well make the best of things. You rub your hands together with anticipation, grinning like a bearded, fire-haired giant of a madman, sitting naked, alone in a forest clearing in the dead of night. A prickling sensation runs across your skin, and your senses sharpen dramatically. You breathe in through your nose, inhaling the scent of everything around you. The damp earth, the sweat on your cast-off clothes, the opossum clinging fearfully to the tree behind you. You open your eyes and look down on your forearms. The faint moonlight reveals the slightest quivering across their surface, but in moments the flesh begins to ripple, impossibly tusks of thick brown fur spouting forth. With a gristly cracking sound, like popping joints and grinding bones, your back and shoulders begin to hunch and broken, uncomfortable, but not quite painful. Your muscles, your entire body mass doubles, triples in size, and continues to grow. Still fascinated by the transformation yourself, you watch as your fingers wither away to nothing, hands swelling into meaty paws from which burst fur and massive black claws. The night seems to become brighter as your eyes transform, become accustomed to the darkness. A wide muzzle comes into view, and you touch your wet, sniffing nose delicately, chuckling to yourself. Next time you think you'd have to stare into a mirror and pond as the curse takes effect, watch your face warp and change, losing its familiar shape to become a bear's. Soon it becomes difficult to concentrate upon anything but your more basic urges. Food would be good right now. Yes, food. Perhaps you'll get lucky to find a nice fat catfish in the creek. You rise off your massive haunches with a huff and begin to amble through the trees on all fours, heading for the water's edge. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll end this episode here. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Planescape Torment. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and we'll see you all in the next one.